Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hi, my name's Lou and welcome to the Z Student. Whenever I introduce myself as a student studying mathematics and statistics in her final year, a common assumption I get is, oh my gosh, you're probably smart. Oh my gosh, you're so brave. Oh my gosh, you're so intelligent. Well, that's true, but... And a common question I get asked is, how do you study mathematics? How do I improve in mathematics? And so in this video, I'm basically just going to share with you why I think you're bad at mathematics, why you study and still fail, and how to develop interest in mathematics even when you're not interested. So if you fall under any of these three categories, please subscribe to the channel, keep watching, and like this video because it's going to be a good one. Okay. Because I said so. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not an expert when it comes to mathematics. If anything, I recently learned these tips and these tricks, and I feel like that's why you should even listen to me, because I'm not a naturally intelligent mathematician, or these things were not inborn, okay? Like, I had to learn them along the way, and I hope these tips will be practical. I'm trying my best to be as realistic and practical as possible. So please stay with me and you improve in mathematics, okay? Okay. So the first thing on my list is why you are bad at mathematics. I'm going to help you understand why you're bad at mathematics. First of all, I don't think you're bad at mathematics, okay? I don't believe there's anybody who was born bad at mathematics. It's not like you were born and you were hating math instantly. I don't think you're bad at math. I just feel like you haven't yet figured out what your problem is. I feel like you haven't yet figured out what works for you. Keep in mind that a lot of these tips and tricks I'm going to give you are what worked for me. So you need to find what works for you. So, I'm bad at math? No, babes. You just haven't yet figured it out. So how do you figure it out? The first way of figuring out why you're bad at math is by recognizing that you have a problem. I sound so cliche and it's making me cringe. And trust me, it's gonna happen a lot in this video. But the difference is I'll give you practical steps, okay? And I'll go in depth as I explain. So keep watching, babes. As I was saying, you need to figure out where all this started. Like I said, you were never born bad at math. You were never born hating math. So when did you start hating it? When did you realize that, oh, math is actually difficult for me? Like, when did you feel like maths is a problem subject for you? I just want you to retrace, go back in time, and go to that specific point when you just felt like, ish, me, math, no. What happened? Was it that it was your environment? Were people around you constantly saying, maths is difficult, maths is difficult? I failed in maths when I was in high school, so it's fine if you fail. I didn't understand this concept, so it's fine because math is difficult. Was it your friends? Was it your family? Or were you in an embarrassing situation related to mathematics? Say, for instance, your teacher or lecturer called you up to the front to solve a particular question, which you didn't really understand well at the time. And because you solved it wrong, or because you did something wrong, this man or woman embarrassed you in front of your class. And it was just like, yeah. Or did you realize you are bad at math when you got a very bad grade? Was that what happened? You opened your student portal, you opened your results or report card, and it was F, or it was fail, or it was D, or it was 20%, 12%. You get back your test results and it's like below average. Is that when you realize that, I'm bad at math? Or maybe is it that you repeated math again and again and again? And you just thought, you know what, I'm bad at math because I keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. So whatever it may be, just pinpoint that particular time in your life when you felt like math was difficult for you. What actually happened? And so if it's something concerning your environment, concerning your teachers, child, I'm going to tell you one thing, okay? People be mad. Some people come to work upset and now they want to unleash all their anger on you. So it wasn't even your fault for not understanding. It was that lecturer or that teacher who just had his or her own problems from home and they are bringing it out to you. Just because they don't know how to teach, they don't know how to correct, Now, instead of telling you the right way of doing things, they're like, oh, you're just going to be a failure. Oh, you're just going to be this, you're just going to be that, and call you all sorts of names. That's not on you, babes. So please don't hold it in your heart that, oh my gosh, I'm bad at math because that one lecturer did this to me, or that one teacher did this to me. If it's something that was so deep to you and you need to talk to somebody, please talk to somebody. Seek help. It's important. If it's your family members that keep saying, oh my gosh, math is so difficult, everybody in the family has been failing, so we're not surprised that you failed as well. Let me tell you, you are different from your family members. Just because they've been failing doesn't mean you're going to fail. And I'm being for real. You need to try for yourself. You need to attempt on your own, or ask for help if you will. Surrounding yourself by people who constantly tell you, oh, we're bad at math and you're also going to be bad at math. People who are not motivating you to do better in mathematics when you want to do better for yourself is not going to help you. Now, I'm not saying you should move out or you should talk back at them. Like, let's be respectful, okay? But all I'm saying is you can still find people at your school. You can still find people on the internet like me who promote a positive attitude towards mathematics and even give you tips and share their ways of doing things. Now keep watching and I'm going to give you more and more ways of doing things, okay? And if you're bad at math because of a poor grade that you got, let me tell you, I've been there so many times. Oh my gosh, I've been there. Like, I can't even... Child... If I started telling you, would make a 3-hour movie right now. But I've been there. And let me tell you one thing about grades and mathematics. They are not a measure of your intelligence. They are not a measure of how smart you are. One thing about grades, they are just going to measure your strategy, your study strategy to be specific. So if you open your student portal and it's a D, you open your results and it's a 12%, it's a 24%. It doesn't mean you're 24% smart. It means the study strategy that you used is a 24%. It's not you who's the problem. It's the study strategy that's the problem. And if you can fix your study strategy, if you can use different ways and different methods of studying mathematics, that 24 is going to turn into an 84, baby. Okay? Over time, of course. It doesn't happen overnight. If your grade is 10%, your strategy is a 10%. It's not you who's a 10%. It's not your mind that's a 10%. It's not your being that's a 10%. Because I'll tell you what, you might be getting 10% in mathematics, but you're acing English, you're acing history, you're acing chemistry, biology, physics. So clearly, you are smart. You might be getting 10% in mathematics, but you are an amazing soccer player. Do you know how much precision it takes for you to hit and score? You might be getting 10%, but you are an amazing seamstress. You're an amazing braider. Babes, you're smart. You might be getting 10%, but you make money like this online. You have an... Don't play with me. Don't start. So you getting 10%, 2%, 8%, it's not you who's dumb. Stop telling yourself that. It's not you who's not intelligent. It's not you who's a 2%. It's the study strategy. But don't worry, because I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you with that study strategy, and we're going to, revisit a few things, tweak it here and there, and then you can start doing the new things I'm going to tell you, okay? But I just want to let you know that getting a poor grade in mathematics doesn't mean you are a dumb student. It doesn't mean you're dull. It doesn't mean you're not intelligent. And most importantly, it doesn't mean you'll be stuck in 10%. It doesn't mean you'll be stuck repeating the course. Because the truth is, at some point, you will definitely excel. And I'm going to help you. Stay with me, okay? I'm gonna help you. The last reason you might be bad at math is because you just don't try. I know some people who just don't try. They go to class, it's difficult, and they go back to their room and they sleep. They don't bother themselves to revisit the notes. They don't bother themselves to do a little research. They just tell themselves that it's difficult and they're not going to do anything about it. And honestly, if you have that mentality, if you have that mindset, there's nothing that's going to change because you don't want to do anything about it. And these are the same people who, when it's about to be an exam, they look through their notes and now they understand stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, why wasn't I understanding this earlier? This was so easy. This was such an easy concept to grasp. No, babes, you did not just give it time, okay? You just didn't look over your notes. I don't know what your problem might be, but I hope some of these points have helped explain why you might be bad at mathematics. I hope they've given you a different perspective and shown you that you still have the ability to be better at mathematics. All those things that happened in your past, with your teacher scolding you, with your parents scolding you, calling you a failure, telling you never make it in life and all those things, it hurts, because when it's your loved ones who are telling you all these really deep stuff, it really hurts. But it's up to you. Are you going to hold on to those deep things they said and let that define you? Or are you going to be willing to improve in mathematics? At the end of the day, no number of motivational speakers, no amount of YouTube videos you consume on how to improve in mathematics are going to help you improve in mathematics. It's up to you. If you don't want to do it, if you have just given up on maths, then there's nothing you're doing, really. We're just wasting time. You might as well click off this video. Okay, don't click off this video because I need to make some money. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is you really need to be willing to improve. If you tell yourself that you don't want to improve, if you tell yourself that you're not going to make any effort into wanting to be better at mathematics, then you won't. But if you have that 2% faith, that 1% faith that, you know what, maybe I can be good. Let me try one last time. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's the little push you need to start your improvement journey. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's definitely going to lead you to improvement. And a good sign that you're willing to improve and willing to work towards your mathematics grade is that you're still watching this video. You have hope in yourself. And you know what? I have hope in you. Okay? Babes, I have hope in you. When you read a lot of success books, when you listen to a lot of YouTubers, when you watch a lot of motivational speakers talk or give their story, one thing that stands out is that they'll always say, you need to believe in yourself. Like I said, I'm cringing right now because I'm about to say it. You need to believe in yourself to succeed at mathematics, okay? But it's the truth. The only question is, how do you believe in yourself? I didn't know the answer to this for a very long time until I came across a video by Michi. I'm just going to put her YouTube here and I'll link the video in the description box. Please go and watch it after this to just get an in-depth explanation on how you can believe in yourself. What stood out to me is, for you to believe in yourself is you need to have a record of confidence. You need to track the progress you've been making in other areas of your life just to show yourself that you are the girl, you are the guy, okay? So on a piece of paper or in your journal, write down things that you've accomplished, things that you did that you thought you wouldn't accomplish, things that you did that you thought you wouldn't overcome, fears that you conquered, bad habits that you quit, things that you put your mind to and you felt like, oh, this is so tough, but you did it. Write that down and remind yourself that you are the girl or you are the guy. It might not be anything related to academics. It can be something as simple as, oh, I taught myself how to swim. Okay, teaching yourself how to swim is not simple, but it can be that. If you felt like swimming is something challenging, you overcame that fear of drowning, you learned how to swim either from YouTube or you taught yourself, and that's something that you look back on and you're like, wow, I did that. Write it down. That should be a reminder to you that even in mathematics, you can do that. Come up with this track record of things that you've done, things that you've accomplished, just to remind yourself that you are the girl. And you can use that same mindset that you used to overcome your bad habits, that you used to learn a new skill, that you used to do that difficult task to be better at mathematics. Another question you might ask is, what if I don't have a track record? What if I haven't accomplished anything? What do I do then? I'm going to give you a simple scenario or analogy, right? Imagine you're playing tug of war with a different team. Let's say you're in the blue team and you're facing the red team. And you've been playing tug of war for a very long time, but not at a competitive level. And so you're a bit nervous, you're a bit scared of the other team. And the people on the other team look really, like tough. You're like, yeah, we're going to win this. And then there's this one guy or this one girl on your team who gives you guys a game plan of how you're going to win the tug of war. They tell you, ladies in front, gents in the back, and we're going to pull at my count. And you will think, okay, but why can't we do it the normal way of pulling with the stronger people in the front and the weaker people at the back? And this person just tells you, trust me. I know what I'm saying. Trust me. If the stronger people are at the back, we are going to win. And you're like, no, but the stronger people need to be in front. And they're like, bro, just trust me. I know what I'm saying, okay? I've been here. Trust me. And you're like, you know what? Fine, I'm going to trust you. And you go with that person's strategy and you end up winning. It's going to feel really, really good. And that's something that you can use to believe in yourself, a belief in someone else. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but let me break it down a bit more. Maybe I was all over the place in my analogy. But what I'm trying to say is borrowed faith or borrowed belief can help you believe in yourself. That moment in that tug of war analogy I gave you, when you hand over power to the person who seems to know better and you trust them, that in turn works out for you, okay? Because you didn't really trust your plan like that, if we're being honest. But giving them control, letting them take over, is going to help you believe in yourself more because you made the right decision. Are we together? Okay, so how do we apply this in mathematics? Who do we give control? Well, for me, give control to God. God is the one who created you. He knows your brain. He knows the problems you face academically. He knows everything about you. If you can just trust him with your academics, you trust him with your mathematics, he's going to come through for you. And when he comes through for you, you're going to be like, wow, we did that. You did that. And for me, putting your trust in God works well because he has shown us a track record in the Bible of him not failing. He's never failed in the Bible in the past. He's never failed in the New Testament. He's never failed now, and he's not going to fail at all. If you can't trust yourself, if you can't build a track record on your own, use God's track record. Believe in him. Trust him. Let him take over your academics. Let him give you the strength to study. Let him direct you to what material to use, what strategy to employ. Give him the control. Give him the trust. And it might just work out for you. Okay? Now, if you don't believe in God for whatever reason, I respect that. And I'm not forcing you to believe in God, but I just feel like if you've tried your way, maybe try God's way. And I know, me saying believe in God and trust God and give him the control might rub you the wrong way, depending on what season in your life you're in and how much you believe in God already. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's up to you, but I hope the Lord will see you through whatever season you're in your life. All this was just for me to tell you that there are two ways in which you can believe in yourself. One, by building a track record of things that you've done and hard things that you accomplished that you're super, super proud of. And two, by handing over control to somebody who can't fail you and trusting someone else who trusts you more than you trust yourself. Someone else who sees potential in you. And for me, that's God. Okay, so we've looked at why you're bad at mathematics. We've looked at how to build confidence in mathematics in yourself so that you can, get better at maths. How do you develop interest in mathematics even when you're not interested? How do you develop interest in mathematics, a subject or course that you've been failing over and over and over and over and over and over again? Babes, I got you, okay? So, again, I'm going to use an analogy, and I hope this one won't be as confusing as the other one. This one's actually going to be a bit more relatable. I hope it will be a bit more relatable. But you know how you're constantly on your phone, scrolling through TikToks, scrolling through Instagram Reels, and there's this trendy sound that's going on? Let's give an example of the time when the sound that was going on was bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye. And then the other trending sound was very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. Like, we were so tired of that, okay? Okay, not me, but yeah, some people were tired of it. But anyway, so even as I was telling you guys about bombastic side eye, and I was telling you guys about very demure, very mindful, it instantly clicked in your mind because it's something that you kept hearing over and over again. Eventually, it got stuck in your mind. And involuntarily, you'd say very demure, along with whoever is saying very demure. Or you'd just shrug and be like, ugh, if you didn't like it, which is fine. Or you'd say bombastic side eye with whoever is saying bombastic side eye. And if somebody did something that deserved a bombastic side eye, you'd be like bombastic side eye. Okay, you get the point. In your head, in your mind, you'd keep repeating the trendy sound that was going on TikTok or Instagram Reels. And eventually you said it. Don't tell me you didn't say it. I know you said it. Because if you didn't say it, bombastic side eye. My point is that you were not interested in bombastic side eye. You were not interested in the word demure. Maybe you didn't even know that there was a word demure until you started listening to it and hearing it over and over and over and over again on TikTok, right? And then eventually it got stuck in your mind and you knew how to say it. You knew when to pause, when to, breathe whenever you want to say bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. You knew the intonation, the accent, the diction. You knew all those things just by spending time on TikTok and constantly listening to bombastic side eye. Okay, let me stop. Okay, using that analogy, that's how we are going to cultivate interest in mathematics. You need to constantly expose yourself to mathematical subjects or topics that are giving you a hard time. The first way of exposing yourself to such difficult topics is by going to class. I know that when you go to class, you're not going to understand and you feel like it's better to just remain in your room, but babes, just go to class. So when you expose yourself to the content in class and you realize that you don't know or you're just indifferent about it, that's fine. Let's just use what we did on TikTok to our mathematics lessons. So the same way you'd constantly be scrolling on TikTok and listening to bombastic side eye or very demure, very mindful, is the same way we're going to keep scrolling on YouTube, listening to the same topic being taught by different people over and over and over again. Let's take, for instance, you're looking at quadratic equations, and that's something that's been giving you a hard time. Keep watching different people on YouTube solve quadratic equations, explain quadratic equations, give you like a background of why we're even doing quadratic equations. Like, just keep exposing yourself to quadratic equations even when you don't understand what's going on. What that does is it sort of automatically makes your brain get used to quadratic equations and gets familiar to it. And now your brain is no longer scared. You're no longer feeling, oh my gosh, this is difficult. Now you're just feeling, oh, quadratic equations, I don't know how to solve them, but they exist. After exposing yourself to different ways people are solving and different explanations, you realize that you have actually memorized the steps. You don't fully understand the topic, but you just know what's going on. I mean, you can even tell somebody. And so step 3 is for you to try. Get a pen and a paper and try to solve a question on your own. What that does is it exposes the little gaps that you don't fully understand. Yes, you know the steps. Yes, you've seen what people are doing over and over and over again. You understand the concept of what a quadratic equation is and why it's used, possibly. And now you need to try and solve it on your own. But then you have questions like, oh, how are we choosing these numbers? I've started solving it, but how are we doing this? How are we doing that? And that is where learning stems from. Questions that you can't answer on your own. It's time to research, okay? Life is getting easier. You can just type your question in ChatGPT and it's going to give you an explanation. You can use the prompt, please explain how we got to this point in a quadratic equation. And ChatGPT is going to explain to you how we got to that point or why we even got to that point. Or you can type your question in YouTube, how did we get to this point? And then somebody else is going to explain how we got to that point, and that's going to bring you clarity. So clarity in mathematics comes from you knowing what exactly the problem is and you questioning specific points. If you learn a topic in class and they ask you, oh, did you understand? And you say, no. The next question would be, what didn't you understand? If your answer is, everything, then what in the everything don't you understand? Is it the beginning? What in the beginning don't you understand? Or maybe you don't know what a quadratic equation is, or maybe you don't even know how to read the words quadratic equation. What about the everything don't you know? So that now when you pinpoint a specific problem on what you don't know, it's easier for somebody to help you and guide you. Now we're going to look at motivation, because the truth is, after watching this video, you might be motivated. You might have this dopamine boost within you saying, I can do this, let's do this. And then you get a question and it just doesn't work out. Or you write your test and you just don't do well. Yikes. That doesn't mean my tips didn't work. Hello, it just takes time, okay? With time, you need two things: intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is motivation that comes from deep within you, motivation that's cultivated by you. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you want to get better at mathematics? I'll give you a very short story about intrinsic motivation. One of my friends met this girl, right? He wasn't doing well in mathematics at the time. And so when he met this girl was doing pure mathematics. She was doing additional mathematics. He was like, ooh, she's smart. Okay. He wanted to show this girl that, babes, I'm smart too. Okay. So he went ahead and started teaching himself pure mathematics just so he could get this girl's attention and show her that I'm good at mathematics. Oh my gosh. Anyway, fast forward, this guy kept reading and rereading the math textbook, and he just didn't get the concept until one day something just clicked. Till this day, he doesn't know what clicked, but something just clicked and he understood what was going on. He solved a couple of questions and they were correct. And for somebody who never used to get things correct in mathematics, getting those questions correct on his own after teaching himself, babes. He went back to this girl and he's like, yo, so you said you do pure maths? Well, like, I'm kind of a math geek myself. And then they started talking about mathematics. And guys, if I tell you that that girl is me and I'm about to get married to this I'm joking. I'm joking. But like, have you... You know how those stories end, like, oh yeah, it was me all along and now the rest is history. Yeah, it wasn't me. All I'm trying to say is this guy had intrinsic motivation and his motivation was to get the girl. So what's your intrinsic motivation? What's your why? What's boosting you to keep going, to keep improving? And the second thing is extrinsic motivation. This is motivation that is around you. It's not because of you and what you want, but it's around you. Maybe your parents are threatening to not pay your fees. Negative motivation can still be a thing, okay? Or maybe you don't want to be spanked. Or maybe you don't want to be on the punishment list. I remember when I was in high school, I always tried my best to study really, really hard and pass my exams just because I didn't want to be on that punishment list of people who are carrying black soil to the garden. Like, pretty girls don't work, okay? And I just didn't want to be on that list. Black soil in a bucket on your head. I was just like, no, let's work hard. But anyway, that's intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. These two things are going to carry you on, or at least will contribute to carrying you on when you stumble upon difficult questions. Whew, I need some water because I have talked a lot, okay? And I'm not being paid for it. But anyway, I hope you liked this video and I hope it was very helpful to you. Let me know if you'd like a part 2 on how to actually study mathematics. You know what, don't even let me know. Just like the video because I'm already going to push it out, okay? I really, really hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up. Share with somebody who you think might find it helpful, interesting, or entertaining. Or somebody who thinks I'm cute and would like to come marry me. I'm joking. I'm not. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.